Good day, students. I'm glad you are here watching. Welcome to our class. I'm your physical education teacher, Joyce Cabañeros. Before we begin, make sure that you are in a place where you are comfortable and you can watch our video lesson carefully and actively. And make sure that you have your ball pen to jot down notes. So the most essential learning competencies or MELCs is to assess physical activity, exercise, and eating habits. So before we proceed to our main discussion, let's have a review. So last time, we discussed the topic about the physical education entitled, yes? Okay. It is the street and hip hop dance styles. It includes the b-boying, popping, locking, crumping, tooting, shuffling, and walking. Okay, very good class. So now, our topic is all about recreational activities and weight management, physical activities and exercises. So first, let's talk about the body mass index and weight management. The weight management is a struggle for many Filipinos, but controlling body weight has many benefits. Filipinos nowadays have adopted the Western culture of excessive intake of unhealthy, high-calorie food coupled with physical inactivity which often results in society called obesogenic, a tendency to have a fat, sweet, and savory. So we all know that Filipino loves to eat different kinds of food, right? It is kind of street food or in a different fast food chain na talagang nagiging comfort food nila. Kasi minsan ito yung nagiging way nila para malas yung stress nila, mabigyan nila yung day nila ng reward. So, nagiging maano talaga mga Pilipino in terms of food. Kasi minsan hindi nila nabibigyan ng halaga yung importansya ng pagiging healthy ng katawan. Basta mabigyan nila yung gusto ng yung wants nila is talagang gagawin nila, kakain sila. Kahit alam nilang unhealthy yung food na yun, na mataas ito sa calorie, sa fats, and so on. So next, the BMI or the body mass index. BMI is commonly used because it is very easy to measure and it also correlates strongly with the percentage of body fats. Excess levels of body fat contribute to several health concerns including heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and some cancers. Typically, body fat levels are higher as BMI increases. So in this part of BMI, so bago tayo mag-proceed sa mga activities, workouts, inaalam natin yung ating normal body mass index. Para saan? Kaya natin inaalam? It's para maging aware tayo sa kondisyon ng ating katawan. Right? So, kasi meron tayong pwedeng makuha mga sakit like heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and some cancers. And also, madali na din naman ma-measure yung ating body mass index. So, we have here a BMI between 18.5 to 24.9 kg and meter square is considered normal with a healthy body weight. This is because BMI within this range is associated with the lowest risk of developing a chronic disease or dying. People classified as overweight have an increased risk of disease and death, and those who are obese have the highest risk of developing several diseases. So in this part, alam natin sa katawan natin na may payat, may katamtamang laki lang ng katawan, or meron talagang malaki or mataba. So in this stage, kung alam natin na 18.5 to 24.9 tayo in the normal classification, so it is good for us. Pero meron pa rin naman kung alam natin na maayos yung katawan natin, hindi rin natin masasabi, right? Pwede tayong pumasok pa rin sa underweight and overweight or obese. So we have here the computation of BMI. Just remember, if you are in the classification of obese, this is the highest risk of developing several diseases. So, in BMI formula, we are using metric measurement. In the presentation, give an example, we have here the height and weight. So, in the height, we have here the centimeter, 152. We need to convert it in meters. So, if we convert the 152 in meters, we need to move the decimal point, 1.52. So, in the square of height, we need to multiply it by itself. 1.52 times 1.52 meters squared is equal to 2.31 meters squared. And then, the next step, the weight is need to in kilogram. So the given example is 60 kilograms. So we need to divide the height of 2.31 to 60 kilograms. So 60 divided by 2.31 is equal to 25.96. So this classification of BMI is overweight. So hindi na siya or nag-exceed na siya dun sa normal natin na 18.5 to 24.9. So next, waist circumference. People have different patterns of body fat distribution, and these patterns correspond to different risk levels for disease. The location of body fat accumulation influences a person's health risk. The risk is lower for those who have fat distributed more around the hips and thighs, called gynoid obesity and commonly referred to as a pear-shaped physique, than for those who are carry fat on the trunk or abdominal area called android obesity, commonly called an apple-shaped physique. So dito, kung alam natin na sa may hips and thighs natin na nagigina tayo ng more fats, in that part lang, so lower risk pa naman siya sa mga kinds of diseases. Pero dapat hindi din tayo makampante. Kasi meron pa rin tayo pwedeng makuha kahit nasa low risk tayo. And then, kung nasa part ka na naman ng high risk dahil yung fats mo ay in the part na ng trunk or abdominal, so kailangan dito magkaroon tayo ng weight management, right? And also, yung pagkakaroon natin ng discipline sa sarili natin, alam na natin na nag-exceed na yung weight natin or yung mga fats regarding din sa mga kinakain nating pagkain. Also, kung mahilig tayo sa mga street foods, junk foods, so kailangan natin bawasan yun. Para hindi tayo mapunta dun sa part na magkaroon na tayo ng mga diseases. So, we have here the picture of the apple shape and pear shape. So, makita natin na more on malaki yung nasa part ng abdominal. Right? Then sa pear, so mas lumalaki sa hips and thighs. Kasi minsan, kung ganito na yung posture ng katawan natin, nahihirapan na tayo gumalaw. So tayo, being a disciplined person, naglo-lose weight tayo. We need to balance ourselves to eat foods. Kailangan, kung may tayo sa rice, so kailangan natin bawasan. Hindi naman natin kailangan tanggalin, pero kailangan natin bawasan. So para makatulong din to sa ating sarili and also para tayo hindi magkaroon ng matinding sakit. Okay? So let's proceed to physical activity and exercise. So first, what is physical activity? It refers to the bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles. It requires energy, expenditures, and it produces progressive health benefits. Physical activity typically requires only low to moderate intensity effort. So we have different kinds of or example of physical activities, right? So pwede natin to gawin lang to low to moderate intensity effort. So in the past weeks, we have discussed the level of intensity, right? The light, moderate, and vigorous. So kung ano lang yung kaya ng katawan natin, so doon lang mo tayo mag-focus. Kasi dito is kung ano yung ginagawa ng skeletal muscle natin, kung ano yung movement na binibigay nito and energy, is gano'n lang dapat. Huwag tayo mag-exceed agad-agad. Okay? Next, the exercise. Exercise is a type of physical activity that requires planned, structured, and repetitive bodily movement to improve or maintain one or more components of physical fitness. So in terms of exercise, so we have components of physical fitness like flexibility, body composition, cardiovascular endurance, and so on. So dito, kung ang goal natin is to improve our cardiovascular endurance, so meron tayo dito mga exercises. Like, common na yung jogging and walking. Kung gusto natin mas mag-improve pa, magkaroon ng improvement and progression sa ating katawan, sa goal natin, pwede tayo mag-add dito ng mas mataas na exercise or workouts. Like, meron tayo ditong, if you are a goal to lose weight, so meron tayo ditong plan or tinatawag, meron tayo ditong exercise training program, workout program, na kung saan ito yung susundin natin para makita natin kung meron ba tayong magiging improvement. Okay? So, we have here the intensity of exercise. It refers to how energy is expended when exercising. Perceived intensity varies with each person. It has been found that intensity has an effect on what fuel the body uses and what kind of adaptations the body makes after exercise. So, a while ago, nasabi ko na yung about intensity, right? The light, moderate, and vigorous. So dito, makikita natin kung anong klase ba yung activity na ginagawa natin. Ipalam naman natin na kaya natin execute yung activity na in the light intensity lang, much better na ganun lang yung ibigay natin. While kung alam naman natin na kailangan natin ng too much effort for that workout, especially kung nakakondisyon na naman yung katawan natin in the term of exercise, so dagdag natin yung effort natin. So, kasi tayo sa katawan natin meron tayong or every individual meron silang condition of body. Kung ano lang ang kaya nilang gawin. Kung ano lang yung pwede nilang exercise or workout na gawin. Right? Kasi dito, may mga kondisyon kasi ang body natin na pwede, kaya natin gawin pero yung iba hindi kaya. Kaya dito, kung ano lang yung kaya i-produce ng power natin or ng muscles, ng body, yun lang yung intensity na pwede natin ibigay. So we have here the health and CR fitness. Benefits result when a person is working between 30 to 80%, 85% of heart rate reserve or HRR, combined with the appropriate duration and frequency of training. Health benefits are achieved when training at a lower exercise intensity, that is between 30 to 60% of the person's HRR. So dito nga meron tayong 30 to 85% na heart rate reserve na kung saan magiging effective yung workout or training na ginagawa natin kung ang percentage lang na ibibigay natin dun sa effort na sa activities or workout na yun is nagre-range lang siya ng 30 to 60%. Mas okay yun kaysa mag-exceed tayo ng 85% kung saan mas napagod na yung katawan natin. After ng workout na yun, ano na mangyayari sa atin? Hindi na magiging good condition yung body. Kasi nag-over-exceed ka na doon sa workout na ginawa mo. Kaya nga meron tayong heart rate reserve na kung saan yun lang yung capability ng body natin para mag-produce or para mag-engage in that activity. Alright? Next, physical activity and active recreation. We have two recreational activities. First is the passive recreational activities. Are those which you spend your leisure without exerting much of your physical prowess, such as playing board and card games, listening to music, reading, watching TV, and surfing the internet, or playing computer games. So nowadays, so nagkaroon tayo ng COVID, so naging online lahat and everything, naging adaptation tayo ng technologies na kung saan more on computers, watching TV, computer games, and things na magagawa natin at home. Right? So, passive is all about the indoors activity na hindi natin kailangan gamitan ng too much effort or too much time. So, next, the active recreational activities are those that require deliberate physical efforts, which may range from light to vigorous intensities. These include walking, jogging, taking the stairs, gardening, doing household chores, playing sports, swimming, dancing, and even hiking or mountaineering. So in this part, So it's all about the outdoor activities. Like ito na yung mga activities na talagang ginagamit natin too much effort. We know naman na walking, jogging, gardening, playing sports, and other activities ay binibigyan talaga natin ng too much effort para mas maging maganda yung kinalabasan, especially kung nandun tayo sa part na nag enjoy tayo dito. Meron tayong mga opponents na gusto natin pakita natin yung talent natin, yung skills natin in this kind of recreational activities. Kaya nag-range tayo dun sa part na light to vigorous intensities. Okay, let's move on to the common injuries involved in recreation. First, sprains. So a sprain is a stretch or tear of a ligament, the band of connective tissues that joins the end of one bone with another. Sprains are caused by trauma, such as fall or blow to the body that knocks a joint out of position, and in the worst case, rupture and supporting ligaments. So when we say sprain, it's all about the tear of ligament. So, pag nagkaroon sa'yo ng injury ay part ng ligament mo in your ankle. So, meron tayong two kinds para magkaroon ng ankle sprain, yung inversion and eversion. So, common dito yung inversion, right? Kasi ito yung so in relate to the weight management nga, kung wala tayong important to maintain our weight, so dito kung puwede tayong ma-outbalance. Kahit pantay yung kalsada, kahit pantay yung ginagalaw natin, may tendency na na-outbalance tayo at nagko-cause 'to ng ankle sprain injury. So puwede naman 'tong magamot din in terms of cold compress, bandaging, and in a traditional way of this injury. Yung mga hilot-hilot lang, so may mga itatapa lang para gumaling. Alright, so next, the strains. A strain is a twist, pull or tear the muscle or tendons, a cord of tissue connecting muscle to the bone. So we have here the picture of strain. So meron tayo ditong na kailangan tandaan, yung muscle or tendon. Possible na it's either doon sa dalawang yun kung saan ka nagkaroon ng injury. So, pag muscle, pwede tayong mag-cold compress lang. Pero kung meron tear dun sa, so tinatawag na yung torn calf muscle na pwede itong i-surgery or operation para malaman and then para makonect ulit yung tissue na nasira. So, in the part naman ng tendons, so hindi din siya madali kasi nagko-connect lalo siya lagi sa muscles. So, we have a difference between sprain and strain. So, the strain, just remember class, strain is all about the muscle and tendons, and sprain is all about the ligaments. So, next, the knee injuries. Knee injuries can result from a blow to or twist to the knee, from improper landing after jump, or from running too hard, too much, or without proper warm-up. So, dito, if you're an athlete, so kailangan lagi talaga tayo nagwa-warm up. O kahit normal person na gusto lang mag-exercise, wag natin kakalimutan yung warm-up or stretching kasi makakatulong 'to to avoid different injuries. Especially 'pag sa knee, so talagang madaming puwedeng makuha tayo diyang injuries like the other common sports injuries suffered by athletes are shin splints, Achilles tendon injuries, patella dislocation and hamstring, quadricep, and calf injuries. So, yun yung mga possible na pwede natin makuha sa ating knee injuries. So, in the picture, meron yung crack bone into the joints of the knees and the ligaments. So, ito yung actual pictures. So, sa isang walang injury and merong injury. So, dito, pwede din tayong magkaroon ng MRI kung saan kinds of x-ray na kung saan makikita kung ano ba klase yung naging tama na injury sa'yo. Para magkaroon ka or isa lang ka sa isang surgery and operation. Then after that operation and surgery, for recuperation and therapy. The next, fractures. A fracture is a break in the bone that can occur from either a quick one-time injury to the bone or acute fracture, or from repeated stress to the bone over time or stress fracture. So dito in the fracture, pwede sa sports, pwede sa mga recreational activities natin, and also sa mga accident na hindi natin naasahan. So meron tayo ditong closed fracture and open fracture. Pag close, nag-crack yung bone inside the skin. Then open fracture is nagkaroon din ng damage yung skin natin, kung saan lumabas na yung broken bone natin. Alright? Lastly, the dislocation. When the two bones that come together to form a joint become separated, the joint is dislocated. Contact sports such as football, basketball, and lacrosse, as well as high-impact sports that can result in excessive stretching or falling cause most dislocations. A dislocated joint is an emergency that requires medical treatment. So, dito, pag alam natin or nakita natin sa isang teammates, friends, or relatives na nagkaroon ng ganitong injury, so we need to call emergency or the authorized, certified personnel or medic para sila yung magbigay ng first aid dito. Right? So this is a given picture, the sample of dislocation. Alright? So, yung sa ankle part, so meron tayong joints na kung saan pag yun ang nag-dislocate, yun na yung magiging cause ng dislocation mo at yun na rin yung magsasuffer sa'yo. It is very painful, kaya kailangan natin ma-eager lalo yung isang patient kasi matatakot sila. Lalo na pag nakita nila yung paan nila or yung kanilang yung any body parts na nagkaroon ng injury. Okay? So, do you understand, class? It is clear for you? So, if you are clear in this discussion, let's have an activity. So, your activity is to assess your body mass index. So, the direction, follow the given procedures below. So, remove all the accessories you are wearing. Use the weighing scale and meter stick. Take your weight and height. With the formula BMI that we discussed earlier, weight in kilogram, height in meter squared, and compute your body mass index. Write in on the space below. Find out your classification based on this table. Below 18.5 is underweight, 18.5 to 24.9 normal, 25 to 29.9 overweight, and last 30 and above obese or the class of obese. The class 1, class 2, and 3. Alright, it is clear? And for your quiz, the link to your quiz will be sent to our group chat and answer it in all capital letters. Please follow the instruction to get a perfect score. Okay? So I will send it in the day of our class. And for your assignment entitled Me and the Foods I Ate. Direction, fill out the columns by enumerating food that you love to eat. Then in about 5 to 10 sentences, tell something about what the activity reveals about your eating and fitness habits on the space provided below. Just put your name, then list of food, nutritional content or the value of the food, implication to fitness and well-being. Then put a check mark if it is healthy or potentially unhealthy. Then also the suggested alternative food. All right? So that's it for today. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day ahead. Goodbye, class.